Hello everyone, my name is Ankana Sengupta and I'm currently pursuing PGDM HR in BIMTech Greater Noida batch 2024-2026, and today we are thrilled to have with us Ms. Jasleen. She's from batch 2018 to 2020. Yes ma'am, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Jasleen Thukral and I'm a BIMTech alumna of PGDM 2018-20 batch. Currently I'm working as assistant manager with Kohler India, where I look after leadership and learning for India and Southeast Asia region.
So ma'am, since you are in talent and learning, so why do you think talent and learning is so important nowadays? Like organizations are investing a huge amount of money in talent and learning. So what are your views on that?
I think because we are operating in this VUCA environment with technology disruptions taking place every now and then, continuously evolving yourself and keeping yourself abreast with those trends is the necessity. So organizations have also realized that L&D is not just a good to have kind of a setup, but it's must to have.
Right.
So while associates, employees are doing their best to be able to match up to the speed, it's also organization's responsibility to take care of the development of the people. You know, their core resource, which is human resource. So while AI is just there to support us and to help make our jobs better, it's at the end of the people of the organization who have to, you know, join hands together to achieve the business results and come together and live up the bigger picture, which is the strategy. So L&D, yes, organizations are doing a lot of investments. They've realized that this investment is going to reap them benefits. So it's not just going to help the organization but also the employees. While functional technical know-how is important because the nature of people is also evolving, the strategy and nature of the business landscape is also evolving. How you interact with people, how do you get them to embrace change and to look at the bigger picture is even more imperative. So telling them and making them learn that, hey, you know how these are the prompts that you have to use for you to able to get the results out of the particular system that we're using. You have to tell them how to interact and lead people. How do you lead yourself in first place? How do you influence people with empathy? How to have growth mindset? How to look at the bigger picture? When you're implementing change, it's not easy for people to embrace and digest it in one day, right? So how do you lead it with connection, with empathy, with common understanding, and how do you make people comfortable in that environment? So I am glad to be part of this particular domain, and I feel that it's my honor to be able to contribute to the best of my ability to help organizations live their wider strategies and objectives at the end of the day, and to be able to provide that platform to associates for them to be able to get to understand the bigger picture and develop themselves for what is coming now and in the future.
So you have mentioned that you're working globally right now. So how, being in such a culturally diverse region, how are you making your business goals so engaging as well as relevant to what the world actually needs?
Yeah, so for that, there's no denying of the fact that you cannot have, you know, straitjacket kind of initiatives because regional nuances are separate, regional political, geographical, economic landscapes are different, right? So of course they impact the business outcomes in the larger picture. So in order for you to people have the right set of ability, you have to tailor your requirements as well. So having that understanding of regional nuances is very important, and I'll help you explain that I can explain that with the help of an example. So we have this big leadership program coming in, and Kohler being one such multinational org has a lot of focus on inclusion and diversity, but inclusion as a wider picture has a different perspective, you know, in different regions. So for India, when we talk about D&I, it's more about acceptability and empowerment of different genders, and specifically it's about women, and then we are also expanding ourselves into the adaptability and embracement of LGBTQ community as well, and providing them with different work opportunities opportunities basis the merit. So having that inclusivity really stitched into the fabric of the organization's culture is very important, and L&D plays a very big part into that. So this is how we design programs where we invite leaders to participate, have some sort of reflection as to why this is going to reap benefits to them as an individual, as a professional, and it is going to impact their teams. How to be more inclusive as a leader, how to lead those conversations and changes within your team, how to be able to separate yourselves from the biases, right, and see the wider picture and just see the person with capabilities and talent and potential. So talking about the regional nuances, you have different ethnicities, races, and other backgrounds of diversity in the US, right? But India, it's more about gender equality, gender diversity, uplifting of our PWD segment. So our offerings when it comes to behavioral learning and leadership development specifically, we ensure that we have those insights ingrained into the modules that we are taking care of in the wider initiatives that are leading. So it's not just about leading the change and providing newer learning platforms to people, but also to contribute in the D&I initiatives of the org. So this is how I feel that having those regional understanding and nuances do come into picture, and you have to tailor your learning and your insights so that people are able to relate it, they find meaning into it, they are able to derive value out of it, and they can go back and apply those learnings in real time basis. So yeah.
So ma'am, how has BIMTech MBA as a whole has helped you to become what you are today in your industry or in your career whatsoever?
Oh, I think I can go on and on when it is asked, because BIMTech has given me so much in terms of opportunities and learnings that I think I would like to give BIMTech a huge credit for helping me get where I am today, because it definitely laid foundation to my career journey. I got my summer internship through BIMTech, and that has been one life-changing event for me. The kind of exposure and learnings that I got, it also gave me an opportunity to sort of realize where my interest lies and what I want to do in longer run, right, what I want to pursue, where my interest lies. So summer internship has been a great milestone in my career journey. Then pedagogy, most importantly my faculty, ever so supportive. I mean, there has been never an instance where, you know, I reached out to faculty and I got to hear no. So even during wee hours, especially around placements or exams, whenever I reached out to my faculty, they welcomed me with open arms, and they tried their best to address my queries and to help me get there where I wanted to. So curriculum, of course, was very thorough and very hands-on. So what I studied during my time in HR electives, in L&D, about L&D training and development, it is coming very handy to me. So for example, the concepts that I learned about in L&D, your Kirkpatrick model, Bloom's taxonomy, it's all coming in handy right now. So I use all of these models on real-time basis to create any intervention that I do. And I think had it not been for BIMTech, I never would have been, I mean, it would have taken me a really long time to understand the relatability of those concepts. So when I learned about those concepts theoretically, and when I was asked to use them practically, I could just immediately get into the action that, you know what, I just remembered it and I knew how it is done. And now it's even making more sense because I'm using it in the industry in my work right now. So I was able to draw that line and connect the dots. So pedagogy, of course, the way teachers taught us, it was not just one monologue that, you know, the professor is just coming into the classroom, just showing the slides and going back, reading the same. There were simulations, there were role plays, there were case studies, the group projects, the videos, whatnot. So the way everything was taught to us, curriculum, faculty, the opportunities that they gave in terms of short-term projects, your summer internship, so everything was I would say a great bundle of package that not just laid foundation of my career but still continues to enlighten my path as I still navigate my professional journey ahead. So ever thankful to BIMTech for all it gave me.
Wow, that's really amazing. Ma'am, the last question. So, any advice you would want to give to the new, fresh graduates? Any one advice?
Yeah, so there's this one principle that I live by, and that's something that's also very much applicable to me, that you have to be a student for life. So being a formal student when you're pursuing MBA, your journey doesn't stop there once you have secured your placement. So that's just in fact the start of your journey as the student, because life teaches you a lot. There would be a lot of things which would be soft lessons for you. You would get a second-hand experience and you learn from that, but there were a lot of lessons that you learn a hard way. So not letting a lot of lessons be hard but soft is what you should aspire for, so that you can always feel that you were ready for what you aspired for. So I mean, relearning, unlearning and learning should be the mantra. The times are changing, disruptions are there, you need to change your gears very fast. So I would say more than learning, relearning and unlearning becomes even more important, so that you're ready to embrace what's coming. You're not just washed by some preconceived notions and the beliefs that you earlier had. So my advice to students would be to always be very adaptable. Yeah, having that right attitude to always learn and be flexible, and not being afraid of change, and not just being not just thinking about the fact that we have to be in our comfort zone. It's not going to take you anywhere. You'll only get a nice breakthrough once you get your hands dirty via challenges. And your first org, the company that you'll get placed with, especially if you're a fresher, it's only going to trust you and give you opportunity basis your potential, because you do not have a work ex, right? So 3 months of your summer internship is just what you have to justify, and more than that, you have to convince them that it's in you, that if you're still not there in terms of skill, you can get there because you have that attitude, and you have this attitude of giving the best of your ability. So I think having this attitude of always learning, being very adaptable, flexible with change, being very agile towards changing circumstances is what is going to take them places.
Right, amazing. It was really an amazing conversation.
Same here. Thank you so much for having me over. I'm wishing all the best to everyone starting their journey with BIMTech.
Thank you, ma'am.